Queen was never just a band. They were a force of nature. A sonic explosion that ripped through the fabric of popular music and stitched it back together with threads of gold. From the roaring stadiums of Rio to the quiet bedrooms of suburban kids, their anthems became the soundtrack to millions of lives. They offered power, poetry, and pure, unadulterated spectacle. Queen's influence wasn't a ripple in the pond. It was a tidal wave that reshaped the entire coastline of modern music, leaving a mark that time itself cannot erase. It lives in the foot-stomping rhythm of "We'll Rock You" at a packed sports arena, a universal language of defiance and unity. Queen gave a voice to the outcasts, the dreamers, and the rebels. The seeds of Queen were planted in the fertile ground of late 1960s London. It all began with a band called Smile, featuring a brilliant astrophysics student named Brian May on guitar and a dental student named Roger Taylor on drums. That spark arrived in the form of a flamboyant art school student named Farrokh Bulsara, a friend of the band who had big ideas and an even bigger voice. It was he who would rename himself Freddie Mercury and christen the new venture Queen. Brian May wasn't just a guitarist, he was an architect of sound. Using a homemade guitar called the Red Special, he created layered orchestral harmonies that sounded like a symphony of six strings. Roger Taylor was the powerhouse, a drummer whose explosive style drove the band's rhythm with thunderous precision. His high-pitched backing vocals became a signature part of their rich harmonic tapestry. The final piece of the puzzle slotted into place in 1971 with the arrival of John Deacon. An unassuming electronics student, Deacon was the quiet anchor in a sea of flamboyant personalities. 4 distinct minds, 4 different backgrounds, astrophysics, dentistry, art, and electronics, converged to create a singular, unstoppable musical force. They weren't interested in following trends, they wanted to create them. Queen's early sound was a glorious collision of rock, glam, and opera. Their first albums were dense with fantasy, mythology, and hard-rocking riffs. They were building their sonic world, brick by heavy brick. But it was in 1975 that they tore up the rulebook entirely. They released Bohemian Rhapsody, a 6-minute epic that defied all conventional wisdom. It had no chorus, shifted between a ballad, an operatic interlude, and a hard rock finale. Record executives were baffled, telling the band it would never be a hit, but Queen, led by Freddie's unwavering conviction, held their ground. They knew they had created something special, something monumental. Bohemian Rhapsody became a global phenomenon, cementing Queen's place in the rock pantheon. It was accompanied by one of the first ever promotional music videos, a groundbreaking move that would change the music industry forever. Following this breakthrough, Queen embarked on a string of classic albums that showcased their incredible versatility. They could be heavy, they could be poppy, they could be funky. Each album was a new adventure, a new statement. And by the 1980s, Queen had conquered the world. Their crowning moment came on July 13, 1985, at the Live Aid concert at Wembley Stadium. In just 22 minutes, Queen delivered what is widely regarded as the greatest live performance in rock history. Freddie, in his element, orchestrated a global sing-along, connecting with the 72,000 people in the stadium and the 1.9 billion watching on television. It was a masterclass in showmanship and a powerful reminder of their unparalleled ability to unite people through music. However, behind the scenes, a shadow was beginning to fall. Freddie Mercury was diagnosed with AIDS, a devastating illness, at a time when fear and misinformation were rampant. He chose to keep his condition private, channeling his energy into the one thing that gave him purpose: music. The band rallied around him, transforming their recording studio into a sanctuary. They knew their time together was limited, and they worked with a fierce urgency. Their final album, recorded with Freddie Innuendo, released in 1991, is a masterpiece of defiance and reflection. Freddie's voice, though weakened by his illness, had never been more powerful or emotive. He poured every last ounce of his strength into these recordings, delivering a final, heroic performance that stands as a testament to his indomitable spirit. On November 24, 1991, Freddie Mercury passed away, just one day after publicly announcing he had AIDS. The world mourned the loss of a true original, a talent that could never be replaced. In the years following Freddie's death, Queen's music didn't fade away, it grew stronger. The surviving members, Brian May and Roger Taylor, became dedicated custodians of the band's legacy. They lovingly completed the album Made in Heaven, released in 1995. The Freddie Mercury tribute concert in 1992 brought together music legends to celebrate his life and raise awareness for AIDS research. Brian and Roger found ways to bring the music back to the stage, ensuring a new generation could experience its power live. With Adam Lambert, they found a frontman with the vocal prowess and theatrical flair to honor Freddie's legacy while bringing his own unique energy to the stage. Queen plus Adam Lambert became a global touring phenomenon, selling out stadiums and proving the timeless appeal of their songs. The 2018 biographical film Bohemian Rhapsody became a global box office smash, introducing their story to a new audience and triggering a massive resurgence in their popularity. The film won 4 Academy Awards, proving that Queen's story is as compelling as their music. Today, Queen inspires us because they represent the triumph of the individual. They were 4 outsiders who created their own world and invited us all to join. Their music is a celebration of life, love, and the courage to be yourself, no matter what. Queen's legacy is not just in the millions of records sold or the awards won, it is in the universal human connection their music forges. A connection that continues to rock us, to champion us, and to assure us that we too can be legends, even if just for one day.